is enough said.
Happy Sunday, Heat Nation. Your boy Ernest here. Back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday, keeping it fun and relaxing. Spread that positivity, y'all. Smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Now together, let's go on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. Before we get to today's subject, you guys, I do want to talk about the game last night. The Miami Heat defeated the Brooklyn Nets. Heat win 106-97, moved to 22-22 for the season. You got great games from certain players. Tyler Hero solidifying his all-star stamp. 25 points on 8 for 14 shooting, 8 assists, 2 steals. We're seeing a different Tyler Hero this season. He's finally breaking through. He's finally becoming that player that we all expected him to be. He had that amazing 2020 season. Then he started being relegated to, the third man role for the Miami Heat. He became the sixth man in 2022, but a lot of us felt like he plateaued. He made those comments a few years ago that he saw himself in the same category with Luka Doncic and Trae Young, but he wasn't showing it. Now, he's starting to show it. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Hero is becoming a bona fide star, but finally, he had some help last night. That's been the problem, you guys. With Jimmy Butler's not playing, Tyler Hero is taking that number one role and running with it, but he hasn't really had a lot of help in these games. He got some help last night. You get a big game from Bam Adebayo, 17 points, 16 rebounds, 4 assists. Look, he goes 6 for 13 for the field. I know a lot of us are getting frustrated with Bam Adebayo, with the season that he's had. I said in the beginning of the year, it looked like Bam Adebayo was being more of the Draymond Green type of player back in 2017, because you have a lot of guys on this team that can score. So Bam Adebayo is showing you that he can do it on both ends of the floor, especially defensively. But now that he's starting with Kel'el Ware, you want Bam Adebayo to have more flexibility. You want him to be able to break out and be that player that we know that he can be. You saw it in the USA basketball team. He's got to take over. We know Bam can do it. He needs to stop focusing on being a three-point shooter and play his game. He hit a 3 last night. Fine. Hit the occasional 3. But this season's not about you shooting a bunch of 3s, bro. Play your game. Kel'el Ware, you guys, you finally see the rookie slump. It's not like he's going to have a perfect game every night. He was bashing 20-point games back to back. Last night, only plays 23 minutes, 7 points, 6 rebounds, 3 for 11 for the field. Not a great game, but it's fine. Nikola Jovic came in and took over. This is what I love about having Bam Adebayo, Kel'el Ware, and Nikola Jovic. It's a 3-man rotation that you can split around. It's not always going to work for a certain player at times. So I love that Nikola Jovic came in and took over and had a great game. Filled out the stat sheets. 17 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Nikola Jovic had no defense. Remember, a couple years ago, he played the third game as in the starting lineup against the Minnesota Timberwolves, the game that Jimmy Butler took out for rest. Anyways, but when he did that, he pissed off Kyle Lowry because he didn't know where his defensive setting was. We're finally see Jovic take that next step. Loving that. You get 15 points from Duncan Robinson, 3 for 9 from the three-point line. Could be a lot better, but he also gives you 7 rebounds. You get 16 points from Terry Rozier off the bench. If Terry continues to play like this, 16 points, 8 rebounds off the bench, then he's really going to help us. We need Terry Rozier to get back on track. You ain't going to trade him. It's really going to be hard to move Terry Rozier by the trade deadline. There's no sparks and there's no rumors for that. So you got to keep it the way it is. Miami Heat went with a solid 8-man rotation last night. Highsmith has a bad game, but you know what he does defensively. He scores 0 points, 0 for 3 for the field, but he's still a +7 out there. You know what Haywood Highsmith brings. Jaime Jaquez Jr., man, the sophomore slump continues. 2 for 7 for the field, only 9 points. Gives you 5 rebounds and 3 assists, but we need Jaime to step up more. There's no other question about it. It is a sophomore slump, but I do know that Jaime has a lot more in his bag. This Miami Heat team did fine, you guys. We're 22-22. We're the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. But look, you're only a half a game down from the 6th seed that Detroit carries. The Miami Heat are still in the thick of it. We had one goal before the season started. Get out of the play-in. And the Heat are literally a half a game from the play-in. With all this Jimmy Butler problems, with all these regular season dramas that's been going on, with all the inconsistency that this team has been, they're still a half a game down from the 6th seed. They can still turn this season around. This season has been nothing but mediocre, mid, and dramatic. But we can still turn it around. And the way we turn it around, you guys, is by trading Jimmy Butler. You need to get back players that are going to be able to help you. This team is good. Without Jimmy Butler, this is a playoff team. But they need to get the right rotation and the right mentality moving forward. You got to get away from this drama. Now, getting to Jimmy Butler, you guys, there's a lot of updates I want to give you guys, especially since I didn't do a video yesterday. I do apologize about that. Was at a wrestling show. You guys know how that is. But Jimmy Butler was at a Miami event, this tennis event where he was playing, having a good time. There was a lot of fans there. There was a lot of questions being asked. And he told reporters, there's no breaking news. I know that's what you guys want to hear. You know, Jimmy Butler was giving very political answers. He also said that he has nothing but love for Miami and the Miami Heat fans. We all know, you guys, this is nothing personal. This is between Jimmy Butler and the front office. Jimmy loves Miami. Jimmy loves the fans. Jimmy loves his teammates. But he doesn't have a good relationship right now with the front office. And it's not because something personal happened. It's just because of money. Jimmy wants to get paid. He's 35. This is his final shot to get a big contract. He wants it. He's not that type of guy that's like Dirk Nowitzki and Tim Duncan that'll take less money for the team to get better. Or like Dwayne Wade. Dwayne's done that a lot of times on this team. Jimmy's not like that. Jimmy's like, F you, pay me. Look at what I did for your organization. After Dwayne left, you guys had no identity. I took you to 2 NBA finals, 3 Eastern Conference finals, and a hell of a lot of amazing moments. Pay me. And that's not the way that the Miami Heat is going to do it. The Miami Heat had paid Jimmy Butler max top dollar. They didn't do that with D Wade. They paid Jimmy Butler max money for what he's done. They will not pay him moving forward for the stuff that he's done in the past. They will not put themselves in that hole. And that's the problem that's going on. That's the main problem that's going on. Now, there was a few reports yesterday, you guys, by Mark Stein and Bleacher Report that I wanted to talk to you guys about. First and foremost, it is Jimmy Butler is done with his 2-game suspension. The next game is against the Orlando Magic on Monday. This is a big game. The Miami Heat and the Orlando Magic are fighting for that 6th seed. This win against the Magic can propel the Heat another standing forward. You need to win this game on Monday. This is a big game. So with Jimmy Butler coming back, this may be a problem because it's a distraction. You need to win this game. So I don't think a trade is likely to happen, you guys. Bleacher Report reported earlier today that the Miami Heat are patiently waiting for the best offer. This might drag into the February 6th trade deadline. The Heat are not going to rush this. The Heat hold all the cards, if you ask me. I mean, because at the end of the day, 2 scenarios can happen. You can trade Jimmy Butler and you can get the players that can help you now, which is what the Heat want. Or it doesn't happen by the trade deadline. We play this out. And then Jimmy Butler is either sign and trade in the offseason so we can get the players we want for next year, or he leaves. He opts out. And $52 million come off your books. And in the offseason, the Miami Heat will have a full mid-level exception, a full biannual exception, and flexibility to make trades. This is a win-win for the Heat. But what is very important is for the Miami Heat to make the playoffs this year. Now, it was reported by Mark Stein, you guys, that the Miami Heat are firm on what they're looking for. They're looking for players that can help them now win and get in the playoffs. They're also looking for players that do not have contracts further than the 2026 offseason. This is why they do not want to take Bradley Beal. The Miami Heat are looking at the 2026 offseason as a big home run hit. They will potentially have $80 million in cap space with Duncan Robinson, Terry Rozier, and Jimmy Butler off the books. So they will be able to go after big targeted players. The 2026 offseason, you guys, will be headlined by players like Trae Young, De'Aaron Fox, and Luka Doncic, pending extension talks. There's other players as well. And the Heat have a young core to build around. Bam Adebayo, Khalil Ware, Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Nikola Jovic. They also have young role-playing assets. Josh Christopher, Pelle Larson, Keyshawn Johnson, Isaiah Stevens. This team is setting themselves up for the future. So right now, the 24-25 season, you can look at this as like the 2008-2009 season. Back when the Miami Heat were a playoff team with Dwayne Wade playing unbelievable, but they weren't a contender because they didn't have the pieces. They were building for the pieces for the 2010 offseason when they got LeBron and Bosh. This is what Pat Riley does. He either makes a big splash in with trades, or he goes after people in the offseason for free agency. It's worked with LeBron and Bosh, but sometimes it's a swing and a miss, like Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Kawhi Leonard, to name a few. So the Miami Heat right now, you guys, are waiting because they don't have to make this trade today. The deadline's on February 6th. There's no reason why the Miami Heat will take Bradley Beal from Phoenix. I know what Jimmy wants. Jimmy is pushing this as far as he can. He's making it as uncomfortable as he can so that he can just say, fine, we'll take Bradley Beal and multiple future first-round draft picks, and you can go to Phoenix. That's the offer on the table. I know that's the offer on the table. We all know that's the offer on the table. Phoenix, I'm sure the original offer was Bradley Beal and the 2031 future first-round draft pick. And Riley's thinking, that's 6 years from now, whatever. No. So they made that trade with Utah. They got 3 future first-round draft picks. So now they can give the Heat all of that, plus Bradley Beal. And I'm sure the Heat still don't want it. They don't want Bradley Beal. Now, Mark Stein did report, and this is a big deal, you guys, why I've been saying the Heat need to make the playoffs. But check this out. The Miami Heat and this is a quote from Mark Stein, The Miami Heat, to be cleared, remain focused on competing for the playoffs, sources say, rather than straying into lottery land. This goes beyond the finance's usual lofty aims. The Miami Heat has a particular incentive to clinch a playoff berth this spring. The 2025's first-round pick is lottery protected, or else it goes to, you guessed it, the Oklahoma City Thunder. But if they also don't make this playoff, you guys, their 2028 draft pick goes unprotected to the Charlotte Hornets. They need to make the playoffs this season. So trading Jimmy Butler is pivotal for the Miami Heat, because if you keep Jimmy Butler on this team, you guys, you're gonna get what Jimmy Butler has been lately. Unmotivated, dramatic, Coast is out there, but you still have to play him because the amount of money that he's making. Mickey Arison, the owner of the Heat, does not want a player that's making this amount of money and that will not play. Arison just will not do that. So if we don't trade Jimmy, we're stuck with him. And if we're stuck with Jimmy Butler, there's a big chance we can miss the playoffs. So Heat Nation, I want to hear from you. Do you think that a trade will happen by the February 6th deadline? Or the Miami Heat will be stuck with Jimmy Butler for the remainder of the year? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Again, you guys, my apologies for not getting a video yesterday. I was at a wrestling show. I'll be posting that match later today for your enjoyment. So go ahead and watch that as well. Thank you guys so much for the support. Until next time, your boy Ernest out. And that is enough said. Heat culture, baby.